In the sterile glow of Vault 33's fluorescent lights, Lucy MacLean believes she understands the world. It is a place of order, kindness, and unshakable moral certainty. Lying is wrong, violence is unforgivable, and help is always given freely. Raised in the carefully curated bubble of Vault-Tec's underground paradise, she has never known scarcity, betrayal, or the cold bite of a world that doesn't care if you live or die. But when her father, overseer Hank MacLean, is kidnapped by raiders, Lucy steps into the post-nuclear wasteland, and the world she thought she knew shatters into radioactive dust. The Fallout TV show 2024 uses Lucy's journey as a masterclass in moral erosion, pitting her vault-bred idealism against the unforgiving reality of a world incinerated by the Great War of 2077. Her story is not one of falling from grace, but of being forced to confront a brutal truth. In a wasteland where survival is the only universal law, morality is not a fixed compass. It's a luxury that gets you killed. From her first naive acts of kindness to her later morally ambiguous choices, Lucy's transformation reveals the painful cost of holding on to goodness in a world that rewards cruelty. This is the story of how a sheltered vault dweller learns that the line between good and evil is not just blurred, it's non-existent. In the polymer Vault-Tec's bubble, the birth of black and white morality. To understand Lucy's collision with the wasteland, we must first understand the world that shaped her, Vault 33, a subterranean utopia designed by Vault-Tec to preserve civilization in the aftermath of nuclear war. But Vault 33 is not just a shelter, it's a carefully constructed bubble, one that insulates its residents from the harsh realities of the outside world and indoctrinates them in a rigid, black and white moral code. For Lucy, this code is not a set of guidelines, it's the air she breathes. Vault-Tec's design ensures that scarcity, the root of most wasteland cruelty, is not existent. Clean water flows freely from taps. Food is grown in hydroponic gardens, and every resident has a role that contributes to the community's harmony. Violence is forbidden, not just by rule, but by culture. Disputes are resolved through dialogue, and even raised voices are a rarity. Lucy's childhood is one of safety and abundance, where her most pressing concern is not, will I eat tomorrow? But how can I help my neighbor? Her father, Hank, reinforces this idealism, teaching her that Vault 33's greatest strength is our kindness. To Lucy, kindness is not just a virtue, it's a superpower, one that can solve any problem. This sheltered upbringing breeds a moral certainty that is both endearing and dangerous. Lucy sees the world in binary terms. People are either good, like her fellow vault dwellers, or evil, like the raiders she's heard about in stories. She believes that honesty will always be rewarded, that help will always be reciprocated, and that violence is never the answer. When she volunteers to rescue her father, she packs a first aid kit, a map, and a heart full of hope, but no weapon. I don't need a gun, she tells her vault mates. Kindness will protect me. It's a statement that reveals just how deeply Vault-Tec's bubble has insulated her from reality. She has never had to fight for anything, never had to lie to survive, never had to choose between her morals and her life. The wasteland wastes no time disabusing her of this notion. Her first step outside Vault 33 is a shock to her senses. The air smells of ash and rot, the ground is cracked and barren, and the sun beats down with a brutal intensity. But the physical harshness is nothing compared to the moral one. Her first encounter with a wasteland resident is Maximus, a disgraced Brotherhood of Steel squire hiding from his superiors. Lucy, ever the idealist, offers him water, a precious commodity in the wasteland, and food, and even helps him repair his damaged power armor. In return, Maximus betrays her. He steals her vault suit, a valuable artifact that could be sold for a fortune, and leaves her to be devoured by a pack of radroaches. Lucy survives, but her innocence is wounded. For the first time, she realizes that kindness is not a superpower. It's a liability. This betrayal is the first crack in Vault-Tec's moral bubble. Lucy's black and white worldview cannot account for Maximus. He is not evil in the way raiders are. He is desperate. He is scared. He is a survivor. Just like she is, he just has different tools. The wasteland does not deal in heroes and villains. It deals in survivors and corpses. And Lucy, if she wants to find her father, will have to learn to be a survivor. 2. Forced compromises, when good, becomes a choice. Between survival and death, Lucy's journey through the wasteland is a series of moral compromises, each one more painful than the last. She does not set out to abandon her ideals. She sets out to find her father. But the wasteland has a way of making good choices impossible. To survive, To keep moving forward, she is forced to do things that would have horrified her in Vault 33. These choices are not acts of evil. They are acts of necessity, and each one chips away at her black and white morality, forcing her to confront the gray area where survival lives. One of the first and most devastating compromises comes when Lucy encounters a group of raiders camped outside the town of Philly. She needs information about her father's whereabouts, and the raiders have it, but they won't give it up for free. In Vault 33, Lucy would have reasoned with them or asked for help from the town's residents. But in the Wasteland, reasoning is a joke and help is a fantasy. So she lies. She tells the raiders she's a mercenary, willing to join their gang and help them rob a nearby settlement. "I'm good with a knife," she says, her voice shaking but steady. It's a lie. She's never held a knife in anger. But it works. The raiders let her stay, and she gains access to their camp. When the raiders discover her lie, she tries to sneak away with their maps. They turn on her. Lucy, cornered and terrified, grabs a rusted pipe wrench from the ground and swings. She kills one raider, then another, her hands shaking with adrenaline and horror. When it's over, she collapses to her knees, staring at the blood on her hands. "I didn't have a choice," she whispers to herself, but the words ring hollow. In Vault 33, there was always a choice. In the Wasteland, the only choice is kill or be killed. This moment is a turning point for Lucy. She does not celebrate her survival. She grieves for the person she used to be, the person who believed violence was unforgivable. But she also recognizes that she had no other option. The raiders would have killed her, and she would never have found her father. This is the Wasteland's moral math. There are no good choices, only choices that let you keep going. Lucy's compromises only grow more ambiguous as her journey continues. When she and the ghoul, her reluctant companion, run out of supplies, she steals a can of expired beans from a settlement's storage shed. The settlement's residents are poor, struggling to survive, but so is she. They have more than we do, she tells herself, but she feels guilty all the same. When a merchant tries to scam her, selling her radioactive water as clean, she does not report him to the town's authorities. There are none. Instead, she steals his money back, plus a little extra for the trouble. He deserved it, she says, but she knows it's just an excuse. In Vault 33, stealing was wrong no matter the reason. In the Wasteland, stealing is just another tool. Perhaps her most painful compromise comes when she discovers that her father, Hank, did not just disappear. He kidnapped himself, fleeing Vault 33 to escape its stagnant artificial paradise. Lucy's entire mission, her journey, her compromises, her bloodied hands, has been based on a lie. When she finally confronts Hank in New Vegas, she is faced with a choice: forgive him and return to the vault, a place that now feels like a prison, or leave him and forge her own path in the Wasteland, a place that has broken her, but also made her strong. She chooses to leave. It's a choice that is both cruel and kind. Cruel to abandon her father, but kind to herself. For the first time, Lucy's choices are not about saving someone else. They are about saving herself. These compromises do not make Lucy a villain. They make her human. They reveal that morality in the Wasteland is not about being good or evil. It's about being adaptable. It's about choosing the lesser of two evils, even when both evils are unforgivable. Lucy does not enjoy lying, stealing, or killing, but she does them anyway because she has to. And in doing so, she learns a lesson that Vault-Tec never taught her. Survival is not a sin. It's a virtue. 3. The cost of innocence. The painful transformation of a good character. Lucy's journey is not just a physical one, it's a psychological one. The Wasteland does not just change her actions. It changes her. It erodes her idealism, her trust, and her unshakable belief in the goodness of people. But this transformation is not a smooth one. It is painful, messy, and full of doubt. Lucy does not lose her innocence. She watches it die, and she grieves for it. The cost of her survival is the death of the person she used to be, and the birth of someone new, someone harder, someone who understands the Wasteland's cruel logic. One of the most visible signs of this transformation is her relationship with violence. In Vault 33, Lucy couldn't bear to hurt a fly. By the time she reaches New Vegas, she carries a gun, a gift from the ghoul, and is not afraid to use it. She does not seek out violence, but she does not shy away from it either. When a group of Brotherhood of Steel soldiers threatens to kill her, she does not beg for mercy. She fights back, shooting one soldier in the leg and escaping into the city's sewers. "I'm not that vault brat anymore," she tells herself. And it's true. But the truth hurts. She misses the person who believed in kindness. She misses the person who didn't have to sleep with a gun under her pillow. Lucy's trust in others also erodes. In Vault 33, trust was a given. Everyone looked out for each other. In the Wasteland, trust is a death sentence. She learns to question every smile, every offer of help, every kind word. When Maximus reappears later in her journey, begging for her forgiveness and offering to help her find her father, Lucy is not quick to accept. "Why should I trust you?" she asks, her voice cold. "You betrayed me once. You'll do it again." It's a far cry from the Lucy who offered him water and food without a second thought. The Wasteland has taught her that trust is a luxury, one she cannot afford. But perhaps the greatest cost of Lucy's innocence is her loss of faith in the world she once knew. Vault 33, once a paradise, now feels like a cage. Its rigid morality, once a comfort, now feels like a lie. When she returns to the vault briefly to gather supplies, she is shocked by how naive her fellow residents are. They ask her about the Wasteland, and she lies, telling them it's dangerous but full of good people. She doesn't want to shatter their bubble, not like hers was shattered, but she also knows she can never go back. The Vault's world is not real. The Wasteland, for all its cruelty, is real. Lucy's transformation is also evident in her relationship with the Ghoul, a 230-year-old mutant who embodies the Wasteland's pragmatism. At first, Lucy is repulsed by him. He kills without hesitation, steals without remorse, and mocks her idealism. But as they travel together, she begins to see him not as a monster, but as a survivor, someone who has paid the same cost she is paying now. The Ghoul becomes a mentor of sorts, teaching her the rules of the Wasteland: trust no one, steal first, ask questions later, and if someone tries to kill you, kill them first. Lucy doesn't like these rules, but she learns them, and in time, she even begins to respect the Ghoul. He is not good, but he is honest about his cruelty. Unlike the Vault, unlike her father, he does not lie about the world. By the end of the show, Lucy is not the same person who stepped out of Vault 33. She is harder, more cynical, more capable, but she is not broken. She still helps a lost child find their mother, even when it puts her in danger. She still feels guilt when she kills, even when it's self-defense. She still hopes for a better world, even when the Wasteland gives her no reason to. Her idealism is not dead. It's just evolved. She no longer believes that kindness will solve everything, but she believes that kindness still matters. She no longer believes in black and white morality, but she believes in doing the best you can, even when the best you can do is not enough. This is the painful truth of Lucy's journey. The cost of innocence is not corruption. It's wisdom. It's understanding that the world is not the way you want it to be, it's the way it is. And the only way to survive is to adapt without losing sight of the things that make you human. Lucy does not become the Ghoul. She becomes something new, a vault dweller who has seen the Wasteland and chosen to keep going, an idealist who has learned to be pragmatic, a good person who has learned to do bad things to stay alive. Conclusion: the beauty of a broken idealist. Lucy MacLean's story is the heart of the Fallout TV show because it is a story about us. We are all, in our own way, vault dwellers, raised in bubbles of our own making, taught that the world is fair, that kindness is rewarded, that morality is black and white, and then life happens. We face betrayal, loss, and hard choices. We are forced to compromise our ideals, to do things we never thought we would, to confront the gray area where survival lives. Lucy's journey is our journey, the painful, messy, necessary transformation from innocence to experience. The Fallout TV show does not judge Lucy for her compromises. It does not mourn the loss of her idealism. Instead, it celebrates her resilience. It shows us that being a good person in a cruel world is not about never making mistakes. It's about making mistakes, feeling the weight of them, and keep going. It's about choosing kindness even when kindness is dangerous. It's about choosing to be human, even when the world wants you to be a monster. Lucy's transformation is not a tragedy. It's a victory. She survives the Wasteland not by becoming the Wasteland, but by beating it at its own game. She keeps her humanity, even when everything around her tries to strip it away. She redefines what it means to be good, in a world where good is a luxury. And in doing so, she gives us hope, not the naive hope of a vault dweller, but the hard-won hope of a survivor. In the end, Lucy's story teaches us that the cost of innocence is worth paying, because what we gain is wisdom, resilience, and the courage to keep going. The Wasteland does not break her. It makes her stronger. And that is the greatest lesson of Fallout. Survival is not about staying the same. It's about changing, adapting, and never losing sight of the things that make you human. So the next time you find yourself facing a hard choice, a betrayal, or a world that feels cruel, remember Lucy MacLean. Remember that it's okay to compromise. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to change. What's not okay is giving up. What's not okay is letting the world turn you into a monster. Because even in the wasteland, even when everything you thought you knew about good and evil is wrong, you can still choose to be human, and that is the greatest act of heroism there is. Lucy's naive idealism may be dead, but the woman she becomes, hard, kind, resilient, and unbroken, is far more heroic. And in that, we find the true beauty of her journey. The death of innocence is not the end. It's the beginning.